Hello, welcome. This is Sam of Sambookery, and it is the beginning of 2026, and I have a lot of great plans in store for you guys and lots of new great freebies and junk journal kits. But I thought it would be fun today to take a look back and see all the things we made in 2025. It's been so fun having you guys along on this journey with me as I've started making junk journal kits and posting on YouTube. And so I thought it'd be fun just to look back and see all the things we actually made this year. The best way, if you missed any of these tutorials or especially any of these freebies, is to check my playlists. I make playlists on YouTube. I've got one that is for the tutorials for the freebies, and I've got them for each of the kits as well. I release things usually in like monthly collections. So that's the easiest way to go back and try to find something. I'll throw a link to the playlists, and I'll try to probably put them in order as we look through these. So it'll be easy for you guys to find things if you missed something. So let's see, I've got everything in this, I don't know if you guys can see, this nice wooden tray here. I just kind of been putting things in as I finish them and move on to the next kit. This is all the junk journals and the folios. I also have this little bin of all the mini journals and the sketchbooks and the smaller like freebie projects that we have done throughout the year, but I think that would make the video too long. So I'm gonna do a little video, separate one for the mini things that we've made this year. So this one's not super long, but let's set this aside and let's just pull everything out and see what we've been doing. So I started 2025 doing Junk Journal January. And I made this ginormous journal. There's a full flip through video on this, and I think also like week by week videos too. But the thing that I made on here is, let me see if I can get into this journal. Oh my gosh, guys, it is so fat. This is one signature. All right, is on this cover. This is just like a business envelope with a window, you know, regular junk mail that I've turned into an interactive flip on the cover. And inside the little window pocket, I put this little mini journal. This is the first mini journal I made. I was just kind of trying things out. And I put this guy in here, and this ended up being part of the Wild Meadow collection. And that was in here. This was a super fun journal to make. Just using all kinds of scraps, fabric, ephemera, a lot of printables from Ink and Page. If you guys don't follow Ink and Page here on Etsy, definitely follow her. And other, you know, just other printables that I had been saving. Here's like a little mini quilt I had made and hand dyed. I tucked in here. So I just used this journal as a place to stick everything kind of that I had laying around that I'd been collecting, and just to work on every day. So that was the first thing that I did this year. And then came the Wild Meadow junk journal kit that I've designed. This one's, everything else after here is everything I've designed. And these are printables for purchase on my website. And there's also lots of freebies on my website that are part of these kits. So let's look at this one. The chunky journal continues. Oh my gosh. I love making chunky journals. They do get smaller as the year goes on because I'm busy more on the computer making or designing. So I'm not having as much time to play in my journals. But I'm hoping to do some more really chunky ones in the coming year. This one, oh, this was a fun tutorial. I'm making these like specimen slides. Yeah, these are so fun. And they don't show as well on camera, but when you like hold them up to a window and they're kind of translucent, it's super cool effect. That was fun. Yeah, using my laminator this year was a lot of fun. I'll put a link to the laminator I use from Qfun. It's been really handy. I bought a ton more laminating sheets. I hope to do a lot more laminating next year. This was like a fun element we made. It's like interactive. This is like a big file folder that I just taped in here to add it into the journal as like a page. I love making file folders. There's some more I've added in. These were the freebies in this kit, these file folders. And I have a ton of extra things I print out a lot for testing and for doing demos for you guys. So I didn't want to waste the extra things. So I've added them into my journal. They may not look exactly like you would see them, because some of these things I was just testing out to see if they would be good or not. And so even like the stuff I decided I'm not going to sell or I'm not going to use, if I already printed it, I'll stick it in my journal. But most of this stuff you will see in the kits. Super fun. That was like I was testing out the sketchbook pages and just tried some watercolor on them to see how the paper would handle the watercolor. We laminated this leaf. That's super fun. Lots of, let me see if I can make room, lots of flips. This is like a washi store, so you can store strips of washi to use in your journal later on these laminated things, because they'll peel right off. And then inside, between the two signatures, I tucked in the sketchbook. I've been kind of coloring and watercoloring in, because there's a gap between the signatures, so that's a good place to tuck in the folio or the little mini books. This is fun. So there's full videos on all of this stuff, pretty much. So I'm not going to flip through everything today. I've got a little dragonfly charm here. These are just so much fun to make these journals, especially if you just work on like one a month and just add 1 or 2 things a day. And by the end of the month, you've got so much fun things in here. So that was Wild Meadow, and I don't think I did a folio for Wild Meadow. But next, you know, I don't know if I'm going to do these in order because everything's mixed up in this box here. Let's do this one. This is a free junk journal kit. The whole kit is free. Makes a 1 signature junk journal, and this is Chocolate Rose. I kind of made it as like a Valentine's thing for you guys in February. And just for me, because it's just fun. I love hearts, love Valentine's, and I thought this would be a fun theme, kind of go with chocolate and brown for Valentine's instead of like the red and pink that everyone does. So we cut out an extra of the hearts on the cover and glued it on to make a secret pocket, and I just tucked this tag in there. But it's a good place to hide something. And just some lace and some velvet trim and little like faux pearl, flat back pearls on the cover. And this was a super quick journal to make, but it was super fun to put together. It didn't take much time at all, and it's got a lot of interactive elements and a lot of small ephemera. Super cute. So it's coming on Valentine's this next month. If you haven't already got this, grab it for this year's Valentine's if you want to make something. And the kit, if you just want to make like Valentine cards, just print out the journal cards for it. And you can make Valentine cards to send to people. You don't have to make the whole kit if you don't want to, but it was super quick and simple to make. We did that again here with the layering the heart to make a secret pocket. And I just double-sided, this is like cardstock backed with a scrap of cardstock, so it's super thick and sturdy. And I just fussy cut out this rose from one of the pages. I love these full page pockets. You can tuck in like bigger things or like multiple pieces of paper. This is just some paper that I coffee dyed. I use a pan that's got ridges in it to bake my papers in the oven, and it leaves these lines on here, so it kind of makes lined paper, which is cute. So I'll just do like one day, I'll do like a whole batch of coffee dyed paper or tea dyed paper, and then I can use it for months and months because I don't use a ton of it in my journals. I'd love to make a video for that for you guys one day, but yeah, we'll see, because that's out in the kitchen and the dogs are barking and it's a lot. So, but I will keep that in mind if you guys are interested in how I do all my coffee dyeing and tea dyeing. So here is a cute like coffee dyed paper, and I've added just fussy cut to the edge. We've got a big flip here. So this was, I guess, you know, I don't even know. I think this was like a scrap. Yeah, it was an extra pocket, I guess. I had printed out. And so, but I need an extra pocket. So I just fussy cut the bottom and made it into this tall flip here. So if you know, sometimes we print things out, they don't print right. You know, you're running out of ink halfway down the page. You printed something upside down on the back. Don't throw that stuff away. Like, save it and when you're done making the journal, go and see, what can I make out of this? What can I cut out of it and add it to my journal? And it's a fun way to be creative and to like not waste things. So we've got a pocket on the back here with this cute card. And that is the Chocolate Rose journal. And that was fun to make, just a single signature journal. That's not too fat, just chunky enough, right? Super quick and easy to make. I loved making that. I'm hoping to do some more like single signature journals this coming year, because it's fun to have like a quick, easy project that's not overwhelming to get done. Let's see. I'm gonna grab, what do we want to grab? Where's Brookview Manor? Let's do Brookview Manor. So here's Brookview Manor. You guys really liked this kit. I think this was the most popular kit I made this year. And I love it too. The colors are gorgeous. It's like vintage, you know, 1800s era theme. It's really pretty. And I made a folio with this kit with fun little pockets and interactive elements in here. Cute birds. And then we've also got this free envelope printable, and I used it to store a lot of the ephemera from the kit. So I haven't actually added it into the journal yet. That's why this journal can close. This one's, you know, a respectable thickness, but having this all together, one day I can just sit down when I want to do something just relaxing and just grab my glue and add all this stuff into the journal. We've got this fun bookcase. Yeah, this was a really fun one. This was one of my favorites. We've got, I think this was one of the freebies, and I added it as just as a flip, and I used a strip of fabric with some glue, and I just hinged it in to the edge of the page as a flip out. And here's a bookmark from this kit. Yeah, I love these old houses and carriages. Vintage clothing. Got fussy cuts. Oh, and this one we did a different type of translucent. We used on Wild Meadow, we used the laminator. On this one, I wanted to do an option for people that don't have a laminator, and we just used like tracing paper and stamped on tracing paper. Or if you have like vellum or something, and just made these windows. And this is just using washi tape around the edges. So super fun. Here's another window flip. And then the ephemera is all from this paid kit, but the folder system is a freebie. So let's see what's in here, because I don't even remember. Oh, I've got all the tabs. Oh, I love punching tabs out of the leftover strips when you cut things out and you've got just strips left. If you get a tab punch, you will never have to like buy tabs or fussy cut them out. I do put them in my kits, but if you have a punch, it's so much easier to punch out tabs. That's probably my favorite punch besides just the circles. So much fun stuff in here. More fussy cuts, birds, keys, carriages. Let's see, this poor envelope. And you know what? It's just glue, and it is held up being stuffed full of all this stuff for like most of the year. Oh, we've got an envelope here. Oh, here's where all the fussy cuts and the word strips are. Butterflies galore. Yeah, I need to sit down and put all this in the journal. That'll be so fun. It's so fun having everything organized and cut and inked and ready. And now all I have to do is like the fun part, which is just gluing it in and adding lace and trim and hinges and stuff. So this is a fun, I'll definitely make more file folders this year and like storage solutions. So we always need storage solutions, but this was a fun one. Where it was a file folder, but I glued the sides closed so that we can have a big giant pocket in the middle to store things, plus these outside pockets. Super fun. Loved making Brookview Manor. All right, I'm gonna run out of room to pile this stuff. There we go. All right, now this is, I'll see. I'll pick something else I know is kind of old. Oh, let me show you this. I don't know if you guys know. So I don't just make like one of each journal. Sometimes I do. I'm kind of getting better at my process. But a lot of times if I'm testing out like a new layout, I need to make sure everything fits. I print and make several. So this is another of the Wild Meadow. So it's this one, right? Before I've done all of this to it. So this is how it starts. So you can kind of see like before and after. If you just make the kit with the pages and don't put anything in it, this is how it starts. And then just adding the lace, adding all the ephemera, sticking in flip outs and adding charms and things. This is how it ends up. Same thing. So it's fun to have that as a comparison. And I made this extra one just to test out the pages and make sure they fit properly and everything, and to do the demos for you guys. But now I have this as a blank journal, so sometime in the future I can work in this journal and it's already ready to go. So here is another single signature junk journal. These are fun. I'm definitely loving these. This is Spring Roses. So this was early last year. We've just got a fun little closure here. I love these big pockets right on the inside covers because you can store a lot of things. If you've got a lot of stuff that you know you want to add to the journal, but you're getting to it later, stuff them in these big pockets here. So I just put a journaling card. I folded up a piece of my coffee dyed paper here for writing space. And this one's really pretty. I love roses. They're probably my favorite flower. I think I did do like a survey on my posts on YouTube. And I think you guys, there was like a wide variety. I don't think there was like a clear winner on a favorite flower. And a lot of people like flowers, like, you know, it depends on where you live too. Like flowers are regional. I know a lot of people up north were liking a lot more like cold weather flowers that I don't get to see too much down here in the south, but it was really fun to hear everyone's favorite flowers and why they were your favorite. So this one's, you know, kind of sweet Victorian, kind of pastel colors. Just like cute with roses. This was a really pretty one. And it's great for spring. It's a lot of spring colors. You know, books and envelopes. It was so cute. So that was a fun one to do. It's just a nice quick project. Let's see, let me pull out some folios here before I forget them. I'm trying to think what's older. All right, so we'll start with this one. I'm trying to think what this is called. I don't remember, but I'll put it on the screen here because I'll have to look it up. This is coordinating with like a really popular free mini journal I did. It's a complete mini journal freebie video. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in this tin. Let me find it, you guys, because that was like probably it might have been my most popular video this year. And if you haven't made it, you need to go make it. Here it is. Meadow flower. There we go. See? This is why I saved, this is just the kit name that's printed on like the copyright strip on the bottom of my printables. And a lot of times I will just cut it out because I do make it in a cute font and ink it and use it as a label. So I'm glad I did that. It was Meadow flower. So this was like the free mini junk journal kit. And then I made a folio to go with it because I really liked these images. And this was super fun to make. Oh, this is fun. We did like a spinning circle here on a brad as a closure to this. And then we've got some tags in here. Super cute. And then, let's see, just tuck that down and spin that up to hold it closed. Like I said, I make the same format for my kits. Like this folio is the same as this folio. This has not had much done to it. This one I've added fabric, I've done a ton of things to it, and I've laid it out differently. Every time I make these folios, I assemble them in a different way just because there's no right or wrong, and it's fun to just see what else could we make with this. So if you get one of my folio kits and you watch the video for that one and you're like, how else can I make this? I have a playlist for all the folios and you can see how I put the other ones together because there's really no right or wrong way to do them, and it's fun to just put them together different ways, just depending on how you want to use it. And this one, this little booklet is tucked into the pocket, and we've added a bunch of ephemera to it. On this one, this is bound into the spine of the folio here, so it is permanent in here. But yeah, this is a cute one. I love all the lace and the vintage flowers and the old music notes. Like, this is super cute style. So that is the Meadow Flower folio. Let's see, here's Tea Time. Oh, roses again. I didn't do these back to back, but every couple months I'm like, I need more roses. So this is Tea Time, and I made this free envelope for you guys. It's huge, so you can store things in here, and you have here and here. It's like a business envelope size. Let's see if I can find Tea Time. Here's Tea Time. So Tea Time was another single signature journal, and this one I just tied some some yarn around it as a closure, which is nice because if you stuff it, if it ends up being stuffed, you can just, you'll have shorter strings, but you can still close it. All right, let's see what's in here. Oh, see, now here's like a little mini folio, like I usually put in the big folios, and I've made it into a pocket here on the front cover. I've added just some notebook paper. I made a pocket out of a bookmark. This is a page from the sketchbook I just included, because it's fun to have different types of paper and like small and big papers in your journal. That's just coffee dyed paper. Added some clear like sheet protectors in here to tuck the tag into. Some of that brown packing paper, which I think was everyone's like #1 piece of junk that they like to put in their junk journals when I asked in one of the giveaway videos. That brown paper that comes in packing is like such a great thing to add. It's already looks, because it's brown, it already has kind of like that aged look, and they're fun textures. And they always stick so much in the boxes when you order things, so it's nice to be able to reuse them. This one's got, so here's like the little pages from the folio. I made just a flip out here. And that's the folio. So it's fun to try to add things together in like different combinations. That's Tea Time. Here's something I made for Easter. Let's look at this. I don't remember too much. I know these Easter eggs are a free printable, and I think I did do a whole video tutorial on this, like a demo of watercoloring this. Then we added it with a brad at the top to reveal this bunny underneath, and then glued it to the cover of the journal. But this just alone would make like a cute Easter card. Or if you did this on the front, and then this was the back, and you glued them together. Super cute. Oh, is this Bulbs in Bloom? I don't know. Did so many kits last year. I love all these flowers, so these are like the best spring flowers. Yeah, I think this is Bulbs in Bloom, because these are all bulb flowers, so we're gonna go with that. And this one I did with a lot of lined pages, so there's looking at the pretty flowers, but lots of actual writing space in the journal. And that's something I will do in the future. I like to make my kits like practical as well as pretty, so lots of writing space, lots of more blank pages, so there's more room for you to be creative and to write or list or whatever you do. Let's see, I think we have a folio in this. Let's pull these out. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, and we'll do this one next too. So here's the Bulbs in Bloom folio that kind of coordinates with that. Oh, it's so pretty. I forgot about this one. So cute. It's pretty ledger paper. You guys, I don't have the best memory, so I don't remember all this stuff. It comes back to me when I look at it. So it's super fun at the end of the year to sit and like flip through what I made this year. Oh, what's in here? Oh, this is cute. We've got this little vintage letter folded up accordion style in here. Super cute folio. And then this was so much fun. I think I made this twice. Yeah. Because I made it and I was like, oh, I should do a tutorial on this. So then I made another one on camera for you guys. This is Emerald Meadow. I did this for St. Patrick's Day in March last year. Super fun. I love all these clovers. We've got fussy cut clovers. We've got this little journaling card. All kinds of fun ephemera in this one. This like old Irish castle looking thing. I don't know, vintage castle. This one was fun to do. Old letters. More fussy cut clovers. All kinds of old green ephemera. Let's see. So I made this little mini folio a pocket down here on this one. And I just tucked the top, and this is the kit name just from the strip on the bottom. And I just made it a tuck spot for this so it would stay closed. We've just got some fussy cut clovers in here, and it's just blank, so you can write in here and have like a secret writing spot. Did I make this one the same? And this just pearl cotton wrapped around with a brad on some circle punches and some glass beads I've had forever. Yeah, we made this one pretty much the same, so we don't need to look at that. This is a freebie coming up. March is coming soon, so if you guys want to grab this and use it for this year if you haven't already. These folios make great things to send like in lieu of cards, kind of a little fancier than a card. Let's see, what else is over here? What's this? This is Coastal Escape. So here's another one of just like the plain journal before you do anything to it. Super flat. And this is just with all the pages, but with none of the ephemera, nothing else added to it yet. And I think let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I generally will do 5 pages for each signature and 2 signatures. But you definitely, if you don't put a lot of extra ephemera and stuff, you see, there's a ton of room to add more pages if you'd rather just have more pages. So you could put more in each signature and have a lot more writing space. But that's Coastal Escape. Here's the folio for that. Oh, I like all this pink. Oh, this is pretty. We've made the little booklet with the tabs here. I like making pockets out of these tickets. They're super cute. That's a fun one for summer. Let's see what's in here. Oh, this is fun, doing like an image, a complete image on the inside. I think it's meant to go the other way. This is like the backing, one of the backing papers from the kit. But I put it reverse this time, so this is kind of hidden because it kind of blends into the background. When you open it, you get a full image inside, which is different than what I've done in previous ones. That's fun. Kind of a surprise in there. Let's see, we've got Grand Tour. Well, let's see. No, that one. We'll just save that one. All right, Grand Tour, which is my like vintage European train travel kit. See how we did this. This one is just a scrap of yarn as a closure. Super fun. Let's see, we've got tags and old luggage and a little mini bookmark, journaling cards, tags, other tag. Oh, here's the little booklet with the ledger, because I thought it'd be fun. I know in the old days, you would have a ledger book if you're going on a trip and write down all your expenses and stuff. Now this is kind of tiny, but I thought it'd be cute to have a little ledger in here. And we've got, oh, we made a pocket up here out of that tag for these two little ones, or that journaling card. And this one I just used a scrap from the kit, a little rectangle as a little tuck spot for the tip of this to keep it closed. And a little ticket pocket with these little teeny tiny cards. They're so cute. I love mini things. And we'll tuck that back in. And then there's a journal for this. Let's see if I can find that. Oh, here's something else from Coastal Escape. Oh, here it is. Here it is. We did something different for this one. So here's like a little tag pocket for Coastal Escape with shorebirds. Need to add that to the journal. So for Grand Tour, you can just make the junk journals just like this, but I thought it'd be fun to see if we could make one out of a file folder. So for this one, I used a file folder. This is some like bookbinding tape on the edge. Just tied a whole bunch of different yarn together with a big key at the end and looped it through a grommet here on the tab of the file folder. And we've got flips and pockets. Oh my gosh, this is fun. These cute little mini file folders. And index cards. Maybe they're index cards. They're tabbed index cards. That's what we'll go with. Postcard. Kinds of fun stuff. So here's just one of the pages from the sketchbook kit, just added to the page as a collage element. That is fun. What's in here? Let's see. This is just coin envelopes that I buy off Amazon, and then I've painted and drawn on it for a little texture. Oh, that's got all the text strips, or the word strips for this kit in here that I didn't use, because I did use a bunch, but I didn't use all of them. Some stamping in here, another window. I liked fussy cutting out these paintings so that they were more, instead of just a rectangle, like fussy cutting right on the edge. So it looks like kind of the things that were collected while you were on the tour. There's some luggage. Here's another of those. I don't know if you'll be able to see. When you hold it up, you can see it's like a translucent. Yeah, it's such a fun noise too. It's a tracing paper. It's just like a translucent window. Got flip. Let's see what this is. Oh, we just used a brad to hook these together. That's fun. Got this bookmark. Some journaling cards. Another window. And then this is part of the file folder. So it really opens that into like thirds. I've got a flip up here. There's some more things that were collected on the tours, like a ring and a fan. And then here's the second signature. Some tickets in here. Super fun. And then this flips out here for a library pocket. Just some old ephemera in. Oh, and this one, we've got a wax seal here. I think I mentioned that recently. So I do like to use the wax seals in my journal. These aren't wax. These are like they don't really make them out of wax now. They're some sort of plastic that you can use in your hot glue gun, or you melt in the little pellets you melt in the little burner. So they won't break or anything like real wax. So I don't worry about putting them like inside the journal where they're going to get a lot of pressure on them or anything. But I do use a strong glue. I use Fabri-Tac to glue them to the paper. But I use this one just as a tab to flip up this flip here. And using them on the cover as well a lot is fun. But that's one way you can use them inside your journal. They do add a little bit of thickness, but as long as you don't use a ton, they don't add too much. I think it really adds some interest to your pages. So that's Grand Tour. Let's put him over here. Here is Woodland Impressions. Here's another big one. This one's a bit darker. I kind of did like a woodblock printing style for this one. And a lot of you guys were saying this was really good for gifting to men or boys. There's a lot of animals in this kit, and it's a lot of deeper colors. I love this owl here. Super fun. I love all the mushrooms on the inside cover. Super fun. Here is a flip out. I can't remember, you guys, which are the freebies, but each kit has like several freebies in it. I don't want to tell you wrong, but check they'll be in the kit playlist, like this will be in the Woodland Impressions playlist. And if it's a freebie, it's in the freebie playlist as well. I try to make some kind of small freebie for everything. I think this was, because this is like the library card pocket. Yeah, pretty sure this was the freebie. Now, I'm not sure of all of it, because now since I've added to my journal, I've been adding things to it. Just kind of incorporating it into the journal, but so cute. Lots of fun textures in this one. And here I've tucked in the folio, so look at that. Oh, did I? Okay, this journal I put together just tying it with a string. So if you don't have bookbinding tools, you don't have a needle, you don't even need like the bookbinding thread. If you don't have an awl, you can just fold all the pages in half, wrap them around the cover with a string. And that's also the benefit of you being able to take a page out. If you mess it up, if you need to work on it separately, if you want to add more pages later, it's easy to do this binding method. Forgot I did that. I do try to put them together differently at different times just to show you guys the options. So yeah, that's the center of the signature. So that's where I tucked this folio. Let's look at this. This is so cute. I used a bulb pin with a little charm, and I poked some I used a hole punch to punch tiny holes into this little circle, and then this was a tag, and just added that to this yarn closure here. And then this is just a strip of fabric I just glued on the edge. And then here's our folio. And then I added that mini folio into this little mini booklet signature here. So it's permanently part of this little booklet. But that is a fun way to do it as well. Super cute. I'll just tuck this back in there. And so we've got pockets in the center here. Look at this. All right, in this envelope, I tucked in the mini journal from this kit. So it's fun to be able to keep everything on the same theme in the same journal. It does make it a little chunky, but everything's together if you're wanting to make like everything in a kit. So here's the little mini journal for this kit. Super cute. So that's true. I won't have all the minis in that other tin unless I remember to go back and get these out, because I did keep some of them in the journals. So that's a fun way to put them in. Also, if you have a larger gusseted pocket, you can just tuck them in a pocket. These flat pockets, it won't work if they're just like a rectangle you glue down, but if they've got the tabs that you fold back, those are big enough to tuck something thick in. Let's see. I think this was a freebie. It was at least a tutorial, I remember, pretty sure a freebie. Because this is just 2 envelopes. We made a little like folder out of 2 envelopes. And then we made these clear, oh yeah, this was a whole thing. These clear like specimen slides just with stamps and packing tape. So we just stamped on packing tape and backed it. And these are super cool if you don't have a laminator. Another way to do like a specimen slide. And then we just edged it with washi tape. So that was super fun. coffee filter that's been coffee dyed. Old book page. Let's see. It's fun to use like other small ephemera as like toppers or pulls for this journaling cards, especially like this one. It's hiding in the pocket and you might not notice it. If you add this to the top, you can pull it out. Oh, and here is, so that's why this was so fat. Here's the sketchbook for this as well. And for this, when you make these, you just glue the lining and the cover back to back. And so before I did that, I just glued in a strip of fabric till about here to the inside of the cover. And then I put them together so it's sandwiched in between. And you've got this permanent closure here for your sketchbook. And this one we did as an accordion fold. Although I don't know. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is just extra. I was like, why is it white? So we've got our whole sketchbook here that folds out, and then on the back side I printed like the grids and the blank pages for writing. So one side's coloring and like one side's writing. These are super fun and tiny, and you can just tuck them into a purse and always have something to work on. And this was just an extra sheet for, I like to use it for testing pens or for testing watercolors or colored pencils first. I always like to have a scrap piece of paper just in case I need to try something out. If I'm not sure, if I haven't used a pen in a while, is it still working? So those are nice to tuck in there. So that was the sketchbook for this one. And that's why this guy is so chunky, because I did add all the sketchbook, the mini journal, and the folio into this. But it keeps them all together. And that one was Woodland Impressions. Let's see, we have got Autumn Meadow, I think. This is another folio. Let's see. It's such a pretty like autumn scene. And we've got all kinds of fun ephemera, bookmark, and this little booklet here. And like oranges and greens. Some more tags. So this one, I just used one of the square ephemera pieces and added a Velcro dot as a closure. That's a fun way to do it. Super cute. I love fall colors. Let's get that in there. And then we've got, I think we'll do Ginger Frost. We've got Ginger Frost. So just made these in December. You guys may have seen these videos recently. And I didn't make a tutorial at first. I just made them to make sure like the kits went together. And then you guys really wanted a tutorial. So then I went back and printed it all out and did a tutorial on it. So I've got 2 of them here. This one, I had a lot of pages. I was like trying to decide the size of the snowman. And I didn't want to throw him away. Look, he's so cute and smiling. So I cut him out and I just stuck him on the back here. So like I said, it's always good to try to reuse like your things that you misprinted or you accidentally printed 2 of or whatever. So I'll save that one because this was like the final one I did. These are probably the same, the video on. So let's see. There's our cute snowman, Frosty. Oh, I love this one because it was like a gingerbread cookie theme. And I cut a bunch of these out as like, kind of like paper dolls, right? Like fussy cuts, but paper dolls that you can tuck in and out of the pockets, because that would be so much fun for kids or adults, because I really like it. I'm not a kid. I did glue some of them down to the pages, adding, like I added that to this page. We've got the pocket here, the little, this is such a cute coin envelope, this winter scene. What's in here? Let's see. Oh, look at the penguin, so cute. Frosty's peeking out behind this car here. We've got the snowman behind this belly band. The penguin behind the belly band. Santa and another gingerbread man peeking out behind this. Super quick and easy to make, this single signature kit. There's lined pages in there and lots of more neutral pages. That was fun to do. Let's look at the folio. So the folio is like a winter scene with gingerbread houses. And we did this little gingerbread guy on a Velcro dot up here with some little tiny cards. And we've got, here is the little mini notebook. Lots of lined paper, writing your Christmas list on, or who you gotta send thank you notes to, what you're thankful for. And we made a tuck spot out of this little gingerbread card and tucked in these little guys. Super cute. And here's, I have a bunch left over. I did a whole sheet of these gift tags, and I tried to add them to the different kits, but I've got a ton left over. I think I'll just stick them in here. That's ginger frost. That was so fun to make. I had so many ideas. I was gonna make so many kits for Christmas, but you know, you're pretty busy during Christmas with family events and things. So I just got these 2 done. I have definitely more planned, so I'll start them earlier this year so I can get more out at Christmas time for you guys. This is Candy Cottage. I thought this was super cute to do kind of a non-traditional color scheme for Christmas. It's green and red, but it's like pastels, pastel pink and light green. So a different take on like Christmas colors. Super cute with the deer and the nutcrackers. The little gingerbread man and girls. Gingerbread cookies. Santa. Just lots of pinks and like mint green. There's this guy peeking out. Super cute. And then the folio did have a little bit of blue in it because, you know, it's snowing out and everything's cool and frosty. And we've got this cute tuck spot with the snowman. And I did the same thing here. So same layout as Ginger Frost. And these cute tags. And then I did this one without a cover. I just did the lined pages on the front, so you can just use it more as like a list pad. And I added extra pages too. Usually you just put 2 pages. I printed it twice, and so I put 4 pages in here, so you have more writing space. And I wanted to just see if it was too thick to fit in the folio, but it fits in this pocket just fine. And that was the last thing we made. And then the month of December, actually, I did those, I went shopping for junk journal kits and did the giveaway videos. And thank you guys so much for entering. I'm so glad you guys liked those kits. I thought it was a different way to end the year and kind of show you guys, like, if you get some money for Christmas and you're wanting to start junk journaling, that you could do it on a very small budget. You don't have to have a ton to start. All the stuff I use, I've been like building up over decades, you know, just stuff that accumulates in your craft room. Or you just get one thing at a time, you know, but all you really need is scissors and glue, right? And some things to hook together. Thank you guys for being with me in 2025. I had so much fun on this channel and making things, and I'm so glad you guys like them, because I would probably make them even if nobody else wanted them, just because it's so much fun. But it's fun to inspire you guys and give you like lots of free kits so you can, you know, craft along with me. I'm just gonna pile this up while I talk. We'll see how much can fit here on screen. So definitely keep watching. I'll be back next week. I'll probably do the minis next week. People love the minis, so I'll pull out all the minis and we'll look at them, and I'll do like a really zoom in close-up shot, because I didn't want to have to adjust the camera a bunch to try to do the big journals and then the little bitty tiny journals. But yeah, look. So after that, I'll be starting on designing lots of more freebies and junk journal kits for you guys. If you have any requests, I can't get to them all, but I make a list. If you guys ask for something, I make a list. I try to get to it. So anything you'd like to see next year, if you like the holiday stuff, if you need more stuff for like gifting to boys or men or whatever you've been looking for and you haven't found, let me know and I will see what I can do. I have a lot of things already in mind. I know I'm doing a sunflower kit. I love sunflowers. I missed getting them done in the time for like summer this year, so I'll hold off and do it this following year. So I'm definitely doing sunflowers this year. I'm definitely doing some more Victorian Christmas stuff for the end of next year. But, and you know, I have a lot of other things in the works, but those definitely are coming up. I know they're on my priority list. So look for those in the coming year. But I hope you guys have a great start to 2026, and I hope you hang out with me this year as well. It's been so much fun. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.